What's going on, YouTube fam? It's Ron here with your $2,000 fourth stimulus check update and recurring stimulus check update, plus the daily news update, including the IRS math error notice that could net you some additional stimulus, guys. The official confirmation of the two stimulus packages in Congress right now, and the scary unemployment benefits cliff that could see as many as 7.5 million people fall off next month. Will Congress renew the unemployment like it did the eviction moratorium and the student loan pause? Let's find out. All that plus our hot stock tip on pharma biotech company Moderna, thanks to talks of a cancer vaccine. Wild, right? Definitely stay tuned for all of it. But first, I just want to say welcome back to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. And for those who are brand new to the channel, my name is Ron. We cover all things personal finance, investing, cryptocurrencies, stock market updates, and of course, stimulus check updates and stimulus package updates. Got to keep an eye on these lawmakers, right? So if you have not already, definitely hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell. That way you're notified as soon as I release new videos and updates. And let's go ahead and jump right in, guys. Great news, you may be owed more stimulus money if you received one of those IRS math error notices. The IRS has sent out more than 5 million faulty math error notices to Americans who claimed relief payments. This is for people who use the recovery rebate credit to claim missed stimulus checks as part of their tax return. Now, what the letters forgot to mention in the math error notice is that people have just 60 days to question it. According to one analyst, anytime there is something new on the tax return, it usually has an elevated error rate. So the IRS may have a greater volume of erroneous tax returns than normal, and refunds are generally slowed when the IRS detects such errors. So make sure you check for the math error notice in your mail, guys. And if you happen to get one, make sure you contact the IRS for your recovery rebate credit. Thank me later. No, I'm just kidding, but drop me a comment down below. Let me know if you got one of these letters and tell us what you did to get your money. Let's help out one another in our community on this channel. And I just want to thank you guys so much for always hitting the like button on my videos. I really appreciate the love. I really just can't do this without you guys. Now, as for more stimulus down the road, the Senate is set to pass both the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure package and the budget resolution for the bigger $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. Both stimulus packages promise a lot in terms of stimulus and money in our everyday pockets. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said the Senate had come to an agreement and that the Senate will vote on passing the infrastructure bill at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. Now, his exact words were, "It has taken quite a long time and there have been detours and everything else, but this will do a lot of good for America and the Senate can be proud it has passed." Now, talking about this whole process is Senator Chris Coons.
We were able to get to a place where we are certain that we will pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill likely tomorrow morning. I think in the end, it'll get 20 Republican votes and all 50 Democrats. This is going to make the biggest investment in infrastructure in a generation, and it's going to create at least 650,000 new high-skilled, high-paying jobs as we connect tens of millions of Americans to broadband, as we replace lead pipes and clean up people's drinking water, and as we rebuild dams and airports, bridges and tunnels and roads all over our country.
Overall, it looks like we have 70 senators already on board to pass what they're calling the most consequential legislation for working people since the New Deal that provided relief for the unemployed and poor, recovery of the economy back to normal levels, and reform of the financial system to prevent a repeat of the Great Depression that we saw back in 2008. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said, "It's the first time the Senate has come together around such a package in decades. Once the bill is passed by the Senate, it will need to be approved by the Democrat-controlled House of Representatives before President Biden signs it into law." Now, together with that bill is the unveiling of the budget resolution by the Democrats. This budget resolution is the Democrats' plan to pass many of President Biden's human infrastructure priorities, aka more stimulus for the American people. It's basically a 92-pager that outlines all the different things that the committees will work on to create this massive $3.5 trillion stimulus package coming for us. So what are all the stimulus goodies that we can expect here? Well, for starters, you've got the official summary mentions, which lists the expansion of paid family and medical leave, a buildup of child care programs, extensions of household tax credits, including the enhanced child tax credit and the earned income tax credit implemented during the pandemic, an expansion of Medicare benefits to include dental, vision, and hearing, and a reduction in the Medicare eligibility age, an extension of increased Affordable Care Act subsidies, universal pre-K, tuition-free community college, tax incentives and grants to encourage adoption of green energy manufacturing and transportation, polluter fees on methane and carbon, consumer rebates to encourage clean energy and weatherization in homes, funding to increase the number of electric vehicles in the federal fleet. This could really be the most consequential piece of legislation since the New Deal, especially with all the provisions that directly translate to more money in your pocket. Democrats said that the budget will provide funding for a slew of big health care moves, from adding Medicare benefits to lowering drug prices. One of the top priorities of Senator Bernie Sanders and other progressives is set to be included adding dental, hearing, and vision benefits to Medicare. We will also get universal pre-K and tuition-free community college. And take note, they also mentioned an expansion of the child care tax credits and the earned income tax credit that will benefit a lot of our community members here. Now, one clue we have found is right here in the latest proposal from House Representative Gwen Moore to expand the EITC credit and modernize it. Now, that includes raising the maximum credit to $4,000 per individual or $8,000 per married couple. Comment down below what you would do with an extra $8,000. I'd love to hear from you guys on that one. There's also this new one on clean energy and weatherization in homes, but don't sleep on this one, guys. Here's an example that I found of money that you could actually get from this kind of program. Moderate income households will now receive 50% of their project costs back, up to $4,000 or up to $2,000 for higher income households. There are also rebates for air sealing and insulating their attic or basement. For moderate income customers, a $500 incentive is available per area, up to $1,000. Higher income households are eligible for a $250 incentive per area, up to $500. Now, this number can definitely get bigger when we have the final text for this bill, so definitely get excited. One very controversial piece of this whole idea is raising our country's debt ceiling, meaning the amount of money that the United States can borrow to accomplish all of these different things. Now, of course, they already mentioned paying for a part of it through tax hikes for corporations and wealthy individuals. Senate Finance Committee Chairman Ron Wyden mentioned a menu of options like raising taxes on multinational corporations and removing tax provisions that incentivize outsourcing. But aside from that, there may still be some borrowing that needs to be done to accomplish all of this. That is something that Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell wants no part in. Mitch McConnell just said last week that Democrats should expect zero help from Republicans in their effort to raise the debt ceiling. He said they won't get our help with the debt limit increase that these recklessly plans will require. I could not be more clear. They have the ability, they control the White House, they control the House, they control the Senate. They can raise the debt ceiling, and if it's raised, they will do it. Now, this got me wondering why the Democrats didn't include this provision in the text in the first place. Maybe they have plans or already negotiated something with the Republicans. Hey, you never know. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen already gave a scary warning about not raising the debt ceiling.
Defaulting on the national debt should be regarded as unthinkable. Failing to increase the debt limit would have absolutely catastrophic economic consequences. It would be utterly unprecedented in American history for the United States government to default on its legal obligations. I believe it would precipitate a financial crisis. It would threaten the jobs and savings of Americans, and at a time when we're still recovering from the COVID pandemic. I would plead with Congress simply to protect the full faith and credit of the United States by acting to raise or suspend the debt limit as soon as possible.
We'll find out more as Chuck Schumer declared September 15th as their target date for committees to submit their reconciliation legislation. Definitely exciting stuff here, as we'll probably hear and read many different updates every step of the way. Always stay subscribed to the channel. Make sure that notification bell's turned on so that you don't miss any of the latest, most accurate stimulus updates. That includes the potential for a fourth stimulus check being included last minute into the bill. Because really, come on guys, we've seen it happen before, right? We talked more about the major possibility in our previous video right here. I'll drop a link down below in the description down below. Check out that video right after this one. More exciting stimulus news in this video as we're monitoring the pandemic unemployment benefits cliff that 7 million people may be facing coming September. Stay tuned as we have a look at the possibility of unemployment being extended past Labor Day. Stock tip of the day, Moderna shares have skyrocketed amid talks of the mRNA treatments for cancer and malaria. Shares of Moderna soared 17% to end the day at $484.47. Now, this is thanks to the news of its combination flu respiratory syncytial virus COVID-19 vaccine, and more excitingly, its 2 cancer vaccines in a 50-50 partnership with Merck. You heard that right, guys. A cancer vaccine that gets the patient's immune system to recognize specific abnormalities that are all the hallmark of cancerous cells, and then gets the patient's own immune system to attack the cancer. Definitely some exciting times that we live in, and Reddit seems to be following the buzz here, with Moderna topping their online chatter by a wide margin. If we're looking for an innovation vaccine maker to boost the portfolio of healthcare investors for the next 10 years, Moderna has lots of firepower in its pipeline, street credibility, and plenty of cash to make it all happen. And just to show you guys what I'm talking about, look at this. Look at this chart. $484.47. It's up 572% in the past year. Now, of course, this is not investment advice. This is purely for entertainment purposes, but just consider it for a second. You know, if you took your $1,200 first stimulus check and put it into the stock last year, you would have $8,073 right now. Kind of crazy, right? So maybe it's time we looked into some pharma and biotech stocks for our portfolio. But look it up, guys, and you can also check out our other stock market videos down below. I will drop some links for you in the description. That way you can learn about some of the hottest stocks that I found right now and which ones might actually be worth investing in. All right, so more on the 7.5 million people who are facing a scary unemployment cliff in September, and hopefully Congress will save them.
Hi there. We've talked about a few different unemployment benefits cliffs, and this time this is really the last one and final one, and probably one of the biggest one. As you said, 7.5 million workers will be left with no benefits starting early September. Those pandemic unemployment programs are ending. Some of those workers were depending on the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which was established during the pandemic for workers who usually don't qualify for regular unemployment benefits. These are contractors, freelancers, and other. Another program that is ending is the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensations that extends the duration of the employment benefits. And on top of that, the additional 300 a week the benefits are expiring. Of course, the job market recovery has accelerated in the summer months. We also report that volume of people relying on temporary employment programs is very high and is still elevated compared to previous recoveries. Historically, Congress has never cut those temporary benefits as early as today. And those 7.5 million workers join 4 million workers who already lost their benefits in the last few months, as 26 states opted out of the unemployment programs earlier. And in those states, we're actually seeing a lot of movement. We've seen 10 lawsuits being filed. 3 of them have been successful in Arkansas, Indiana, and Maryland. And recently, a lawsuit in Ohio was rejected. But we continue to follow and see whether in those states more workers will see their benefits reinstated at least until September.
Estimates say that more than 7.5 million people will still be collecting benefits by the time that they end in September on the 6th. And so what that means is that 7.5 million people would be losing their benefits come Labor Day. But here's the thing, guys. During the Great Recession, workers were able to collect up to 99 weeks of unemployment benefits. That aid ended in December 2013, at which time 1.3 million workers lost benefits. Definitely a lot less than the 7.5 million people that we have facing the unemployment cliff right now. And as for the people who are saying that unemployment benefits are keeping people on the job market sidelines, well, evidence so far does not suggest that the state policies that have ended unemployment early in several different states actually got people back into the workforce. Some economists argue pandemic-related factors, not benefits, are the primary reasons workers may not be returning to the workforce as quickly as anticipated. For example, parents may still not have adequate childcare. Those who can't work from home may still be cautious for health reasons. Workers may have relocated away from jobs or changed industries during the pandemic. At the same time, the Delta variant threatens to complicate the recovery. All this has got experts saying that we may see an extension of the pandemic unemployment benefits, aka the PUA, just like we did with the eviction moratorium and the student loan pause. Now, one expert from the National Employment Law Project says, exactly what advocates feared would happen with the last extension to September 6 is now happening. We knew COVID wouldn't be over, and it's not. With the Delta variant rising and places going back to having mask mandates, we're taking steps backwards and ending aid when people need aid and rely on them. So what they're proposing, instead of these random dates Congress keeps extending, unemployment for, is a phase out period based on economic conditions like the unemployment rate. And that makes a lot of sense to me, especially since you won't have to rely on Congress for taking action whenever they feel like it. But what do you guys think about this? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And I actually love hearing your feedback on our videos and which stimulus programs that you actually want us to cover in our content. Special shout out to our community members on Social Security. I hope that you guys have checked out our exclusive primer video on the latest updates on Social Security changes, including the proposals of a $500 plus increase in your monthly SSI. I'll be sure to drop a link for that video in the description down below. It is information packed for Social Security. Be sure to check that video out after this one. We have more exciting updates coming in my future videos for you guys. Only the latest, most accurate stimulus updates, timelines, and programs here on our channel. Always a big thanks for hitting that like button. I really appreciate it, you guys. I love the support that you guys have given the channel. Your likes, your comments, your shares, they definitely light up my day. They also show those tricky YouTube algorithms that our videos are the real deal. So if you want our Ron Yates community to keep growing, let's keep those likes coming in. I will also be sure to keep the information flowing in each and every single video. So anyway, guys, that's all for your $2,000 fourth stimulus check update and recurring stimulus check update, plus the daily news update, including the IRS math error notice that could net some additional stimulus money in your pockets. Thank me later, or thank me now if you've already gotten some. Plus the official confirmation of the 2 stimulus packages in Congress right now, and the scary unemployment benefits cliff that could see as many as 7.5 million people fall off next month. I really hope that that doesn't happen, but we gotta keep an eye on it. All that plus our hot new stock tip on pharma biotech company Moderna, thanks to the talks of a cancer vaccine. I really hope that you guys appreciated all of the stimulus goodness and updates in this video. And as always, thank you guys so much for liking this video. Definitely subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way you're notified as soon as I release new videos and content. And I will see you guys on our next daily news update. Take care and be safe.